Make sure that people had a voice. That's what we do. We walk with you and we'll say until you can take the voice, because you've got a voice. Every single person has a voice, just like a breath. You have a breath. Do you know what I mean? It is very encumbering. And just remember, if you made those steps here tonight, that means you've got a voice, and your voice is amazing, and you can share your voice and you can speak. I've got a lady here who wants to say something, and it is really good that all of you who've come forward to speak, because it does take some guts. You know what I mean? Like Errol was saying, it's nervous, but you know what? It's like fear. Once you've got it out of your system, you're all fire and you're on your way to go.
Hi, my name's Amelia. I am so nervous. But just as I'm looking around now, I'm seeing so many different kinds of people from every race, every colour. And as a white person, watching what is happening on the news, seeing that people of my own race are so brutal and horrible, it really makes you lose faith in your own race. So I am here tonight. I am here tonight.
You're welcome.
White privilege is real, and we need to use it to fight what is happening. I stand with every black person, and I want everyone here tonight, no matter what race you are, to use your voice, because as a group we will all be heard.
Thank you. Can everyone hear me? Yeah. I do just want to say a quick thank you for my inspiration for coming up here, and that is to Jake, Errol, and my older brother Chris, the black men who have spoken today. A point that Errol did make that actually inspired me to come and speak today was an ideology of being a bystander. I only have a little story myself, and this was when I was at school. In my friendship group, I was the only black one. I was the token black girl, if you would say. And we were on a bus just going round near Preston North End, and unbeknownst to me, a little tag on the back of my bag I had on my shoulder was hitting an old white man in the face as the bus was riding. And as I was getting off, he did whisper under his breath, but loud enough for the bus to hear, "Niggers these days." And it stuck with me because I ended up getting off that bus because it was my stop, but I felt so weak for getting off. It felt like I had no balls. I couldn't call him out. My friends, who I thought were my friends, didn't know what to say, whether it was good to back me or whether to leave it alone because it's not my place to say. But nobody on the bus stood up for me. That was an awful walk home from the bus stop back home. All I have to say and implore everyone here, we're all here for a reason, but stop being bystanders. If it's your family members, if it's your friends, anything that they say, just challenge it, call it out and stand up to racism, because it is sickening and it is a disease. That is all I have to say, but thank you for listening.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hi everyone, I'm Chris. I'm new to Preston and I didn't know this was going on around here tonight. I seen you at the cash point at Tesco. I thought, where's this lady going dressed up? We're on a lockdown. I want to share something with you, because when I came, the young lady here was speaking about lack of knowledge. You know, I was born in South Wales. Well, I'm going to say, I was raised as a racist. My father told me to hate anybody that wasn't white, that wasn't Welsh. My mum used to take severe beatings because I played with the black kids in school, because my father caught me. And you know, I was raised, when my friends had pictures of maybe Spice Girls or whatever on their walls, there was pictures of Hitler all around my house. I hated it with a passion, but I couldn't speak up because I didn't have a voice. When we moved to England, down into Bristol, things were sitting in me, and I was racist. And I hated everyone that wasn't like me. And I went to an all-boys private school where white privilege did matter. And, you know, I felt different. And I was in maths, and I struggled with maths, and we had a black supply teacher, and he could see I was struggling. He put his hand on me. I lashed out. I got kicked out of that school, and I went to a naughty school. And my first day there, you know, I got some knowledge because, one, a tall black girl walked through, and I was amazed, but confused at the same time. You know, that woman I'm still married to today. We have 4 kids. So, you know, I'm a Christian. I wasn't always a Christian, and you know, I got kicked out of one school for assaulting a black male. My father shook my hand for that. You know, my mum hated it. But when I fell in love with Sharika, you know, something changed, because that day in that school, my first ever lesson, the teacher didn't even know what I got kicked out of my last school for. He said, there's an envelope, I'm going to put each and every one of you into a different group. And so they said to me, you go and pick the envelope. They're all blank. Open that envelope. And this is where God was watching over me, transform my life, because when I opened that envelope, it said the topic you're going to discuss and do a debate on is racism. You know, I fell in love with a culture. I fell in love with Sharika that sat opposite me every day. She became my pencil case for 7 years. And, you know, I went on to join the Marines. And, you know, talk about this government. Racism is institutionalized within our government because we were told shoot to kill whatever moves. I stood up. I became race relations officer in the Marine Corps, 3rd Commando Brigade down in Plymouth, and people hated me because I stood up for what I believed was right. I left the Marine Corps because of how racist our government, our leaders were. I had to leave because, you know, every time I came back, my wife and children were picked on because of the colour of their skin. Bricks thrown through the window, and this was on barracks. You know, so today I thank everybody that's come here. You know, I weren't even to speak, but you know, today I love who I am. You know, I love everybody around me. I don't see a colour, and I've seen all over social media, Facebook, like, all lives matter, and it's been pissing me off, to be bluntly, because you know what? The colour of my skin got me anywhere as a kid. You know what, even my children now, they're mixed race, I hate that word. But I tell them, you got to work harder than the white kid next to you. Because you're going to get picked on. You might not see it because they'll do it in secret. They'll do it behind your back. But you know what? My daughter, Tanisha, is now studying law at Bristol Uni. You know what? My kids are going to be better than what I was. So thank you for everyone that comes out. Black lives do matter.
Nice one.
Thank you so much. Well done. And that's why. Well done. Is there anybody else? No. Is there anybody else that wants to speak? We can be here all night, so it's up to you. I think Jem is going to speak. Oh, this lady. Yeah. Oh, and another gentleman. See? Because we can do what we want, can't we? It's just giving me opportunity.
Go on.
Yeah, sorry. No, I just didn't want to be ignorant, that's all. Hello, my name's Gemma, Gemma Gow. I've lived in Preston all my life. I spoke to you listens. No one listens. They'll listen to your face value, but they don't want to hear what you really mean. Wow. What you you really are saying. They don't want to do anything about it. They'll tell you that to your face. Show me. What are they doing? Where are they now supporting this community that stands here today? Where are they? Where are they sharing their resources with the community of Preston, with the black community of Preston? Yes, they might have some small evidence, but they need to give back because the black community of Preston gives them so much. The international community of the globe gives them so much. But where are they when the community needs them back? For 2 years, as a representative of students, I have been in the boardroom with senior executives of that university and had to argue why racism needs to stop within its own institution, within its own boardrooms. The boardrooms in that university are predominantly white. How are they supposed to represent black, Asian and minority communities within that organisation? They don't. Black staff can't speak out. They don't feel like they can speak out. Just a gentleman before gave an example. He didn't want to speak out because people's livelihoods are on the line. Someone needs to speak out, and it needs to be white people. White people have sat for far too long, far too quiet, and we are asking you, please stand with us and speak up when you see these things. Please, we beg you. I'm going to tie it up. I wasn't planning on speaking. I don't know if people are recording. I hope someone is, so that the university can see this. Good on you. But I'm asking that university today, not tomorrow, not next year, not in a few years' time. I want a pledge. I want a pledge for your students. Your students are hurting. And I want to see the kids now. Now. We are tired. We are done. Thank you very much.
Wow. And that's why we're here today. Shout.
Hello guys, I'm Marlon. How's everyone today? I don't know, but as a white person I can never say that I've experienced racism, but my dad is from Bradford, his mum's from Dominica, she came over in English. Yeah. And my little brother, he's mixed race. And growing up and you hear, like, I've never experienced it, but hearing that my little brother say, why is it different? Why is it different because of the colour of my skin? Or why my dad has funny people looking funny just because the way we're on the supermarket. And you don't, it's when you never feel it, you never experience it, you just watch it, and it's such a real feeling. I just don't think this is right, and it's not right, and we can stand here tomorrow, we can keep saying it, and just Black Lives Matter.
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 Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter.
Hi, my name's Lewis. So, I guess you could call it a privilege. I had the grace to move to Texas when I was 5 years old. I was, 3 years in America. I experienced racism blind in front of my eyes, right in front of me. Like, for example, my maths tutor was one of the very few black people I knew when I was over there. He was the only person who was capable of teaching me maths. And when my mum got locked out of her car and he was buying us ice cream, sorting us out, a white man came over and said, "Oh, are you alright? Is that black man harassing you?" I couldn't believe it. I absolutely couldn't believe it. It disgusted me. And like I think it was Errol was saying before, Facebook is a disgusting tool at the minute. It can be used so well, but everybody uses it to defend their opinion, like anyone's actually trying to take your opinion away from you. They are not. They are just countering your opinion with their own knowledge. Like, no one is trying to attack you. You're blatant. Sorry, it's got me really emotional this week. Like, all I've seen on Facebook all week is white people predominantly saying, oh, there's no point in posting all this on Facebook, it's not going to change anything, it's not going to change anything, and being pure negative. But, like the last person said, where are they now? Really, where are they now? How many people can turn up to Caribbean Carnival every year? Where are they now? Like, Preston likes to take everything from its people, but give nothing back, as it is everywhere.
Nice one.
And all I've seen is other white people criticising people, saying, oh, you're not making a difference by doing this, you're not making a difference by doing that. Well, you're not making a difference either, so if you've not got anything positive to say, shut the hell up. If we think... And if you think that we are just virtue signalling because we're white, like, that is complete bollocks. I lived in America, I know black people over there that I do not know if they are alive today, because it was 16 years ago that I was over there. Like, how are we supposed to keep in steady contact over that sort of range of time? And people are telling me that I can't possibly care within my heart for this, because of this colour of my skin. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. Nah, fire's burning in my soul from this stuff, and it can't go on any longer. Black Lives Matter. That's what I'm going to say.
We are coming to a close. It's getting late. I want to thank once again everybody that's turned out and is still here now. Okay, we're not supposed to, we're going to have one more person because we are trying to get everybody's point of view across, so.
Hello everyone, my name's Rebecca. I just want to say, as a white woman, as a white person, it is our duty to stand up to racism. It is our duty to wipe that from our society. Like, we should stand up. When somebody's hurt themselves, our initial thought is to go over to them and be like, oh, are you okay? You know, it should be the same thing with racism. We should go over and we should stand up and we shouldn't ignore it. It shouldn't be slept on. We should come together. We're all human. I don't understand what is the difference between skin colour. Everyone feels emotions. Everyone feels pain. And, you know, we have not experienced as white people years of oppression. We've not experienced that. So we should look at people of colour and, treat them as we would want to be treated. Racism still exists and it shouldn't. It shouldn't. Black lives matter. Black lives always matter. Black lives matter.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Thank you. As I was saying, I want to thank with all my heart each and every one for taking the time to come out tonight, whether you heard it from us personally, whether you heard it on social media, whether you heard off a friend. I want to thank each and every one of you with all of my heart for coming out tonight. It makes the difference. We sin just by being here. I mean, it may not be our protest that has got them people prosecuted, but us, along with other people protesting and making their voices known today, secured the arrest and prosecution of them people, and that's what we're here to do. So, as we draw this evening to a close, and I would say a great close because it has been a great evening, people have got a chance to open up face to face. This was the whole initiative for this evening, because we wanted, instead of people feeling something and going and writing it as a status and getting any negative feedback or putting it as a tweet, this is better. Come together, face to face, people to people, children, old people, black, white, yellow, pink, and educate each other. That's what we need to do. It's only love. In the words of Bob Marley, it's one love. And as long as we stick to that, we can't go wrong. My daughter just wants to say thank you to everyone. Sorry for this. Just go on, say thank you quickly.
Thank you for coming.
So there you go, thank you. I'm going to pass you over to Glenda.
We were trying to wait till the building went purple because when we were told, because Liverpool was doing it, Manchester was doing it, London's doing it. Anyway, they did it on Monday, but it didn't work. But we wanted to be here when they shined that purple light, and we wanted the Preston Council to see Preston community come out together. I'm not going to say anything else before we go, but I do want to ask everybody to join when I start singing, because I've always believed that our children are our future. Now, I'm not a singer, my sister's not here, but I want everybody to join in with me, and then we'll close for the night. Is that all right?
Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a strength and fly, and make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us of the ways to be. Everybody searching for an eagle. So, I can't tell where the one's up to. Love of all happening to me. Go on, Glenda. Yeah. Love of all is Thank you. Thank you. Hey! Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Black Lives Matter. Remember it.
Black Lives Matter.
Thank you.
Thank you. Go home safely.
Spread the word. Spread the word. Let us know. Share the video. Hold on.